Hello friends, welcome to my channel. In this video I am going to discuss the poems of Dante Gabriel Rossetti. His choices, choice 1, 2 and 3. So first let me tell you about the overview of these choices, these poems. Actually these are the three poems: choice 1, choice 2 and choice 3, right? So there is no choice between these three, but separately each one is a choice by its own, or there is no alternative between this poem or these choices, each poem having one absolute choice and having no alternative. And choice 1 is the physical enjoyment, choice 2 is religious asceticism, and choice 3 is the theory of self-development, right? These are written in sonnet form, three sonnets, a 14-line poem. So these are public in his collection, The House of Life. As I've already discussed his biography and writing style, so you better watch that video to understand this poem. So begin with choice 1, that is about physical enjoyment, right? So physical enjoyment, it may refers to Epicurean philosophy. What does Epicurean philosophy mean? It means eat, drink and stay merry, stay happy. So the Epicurean philosophy, it was based on Epicurean philosophy, physical enjoyment, all about physical enjoyment. And interesting thing is that in the poem, the initial lines indicates the whole crux of the poem, or the telling about the choice. So the first choice is physical enjoyment, and it is stated from in the very beginning of the poem, which states that eat thou and drink, tomorrow thou shalt die. So the line is self-explanatory, so which is the Epicurean philosophy: eat, drink and stay happy. So eat thou and drink, just don't care about other things, just eat, drink and stay happy, because tomorrow you have to face death, right? We are mortal beings and we have to face death, so just enjoy your life. Physical enjoyment he just talking about. And then he say, surely the earth that's wise being very old. So the earth, it's very old, and life has been from the very beginning. So what they did, nothing. They just die, perish, pass away, the people of the past, and you will also pass away, perish, death, mortality. So why not to enjoy life? Needs not our help. This earth, it do not need our help, or we don't have to concern about the earth. Just enjoy your life and don't care about anything else. And then he say, then lose me, love, and hold thy sultry hair up from my face. So these lines, sultry hair, golden wine, like gold, thy song, these words are reference to his love, Elizabeth Siddle, right? Because she has got a golden hair, and he is addressing to her, to his lover. They say, lose me, love, and hold, right? Hold me, my love, let enjoy life, right? Let enjoy our physical things. Let me enjoy your physical beauty, your salty hair, your golden wine, your beautiful face, and till round the glass thy fingers glow like gold. Just praising the physical beauty of his lover, Elizabeth Siddle, right? Her golden hair, her fingers glow like gold, how beautiful she is, physical enjoyment, right? Remember, will drown all hours, thy song, while hours are told. And further what he say, He said that shall leap as the fountains while the changing sky. So this sonnet measures death in life existence. So he's against mortality, and the poet is bothered by the time. And by losing himself in several enjoyment, the poet may escape the flux of experience. Choice two is religious asceticism. So it is based on religious asceticism. We will discuss how. So first let me tell you what is asceticism and what is religious asceticism. Asceticism, it means severe self-discipline or avoiding all forms of indulgence or physical pleasures or things like that for uh, or avoiding things for a certain purpose, or it is a self-denial. Or when it is religious asceticism, obviously it means to deny, to avoid something evil, something bad for religious purposes. So that is what religious asceticism is. And the language used in this poem throughout it recalls various texts from both Old and New Testaments and reference to forbidden fruit as well, right? For the forbidden fruit, remember Milton's Paradise Lost, and most of this sonnet is devoted to fear of uh, the speaker, right? About what? Fear about afterlife, right? So fear about death, afterlife as well, day of judgment. So we will discuss line by line analysis of this poem, and the poem begins. So as I already told you, the very initial line indicates to it is the crux of the whole poem. So it is religious asceticism, and this in first very initial line refers to religious asceticism, and that is, he say, watch thou and fear, tomorrow thou shalt die. So what we have to do, tomorrow you have to die, obviously you have to face the day of judgment. So what you do, you just observe life, right? Watch thou and fear of what? Fear of day of judgment. So you must be watchful about your actions, right? And you must fear afterlife. So adopt good deeds and avoid left evils, and return to religious goodness as well. So he say, or art thou sure thou shalt have time for death, right? This life is very short, and you do not, once you are dead, you do not have time to make your deeds good. Once you are dead, you are dead for all, and there is no chance to convert or make your deeds good. So it is in this life you have the entire life to make just left the evils and return to faith, return to goodness, return to way of God. Is not the day which God's word promised to come, men know not when. So it is the promise, or it is the promise of God that he show us, guide us the way of truth towards goodness always. And he say, in yonder sky now while we speak, the sun speeds forth, and can I or thou I show him of his call, right? We cannot be sure of our goal, right? The goal, the purpose of our life on this earth. The purpose and goal of life on earth is obviously to pray, to praise the God who has created us, right? To worship him. The theme of spirituality is there. So the spiritual anxiety is there, and he is conscious about anxious or conscious about his faith, about his spirituality, his deeds associated. So he said that God's breath, even at this moment, haply quicken the air to flame, till spirits always nigh. So God's breath refer to the wind. What actually happened at doomsday. The doomsday, a kind of wind is blow, right, and everything vanish in quick, and means in 1 second. That is the grandness of God. So everything has to be end perish in doomsday, right? So you just pay heed for your deeds, and just conscious about what you are doing. And why it's flipping, wait for a while, I lost it. Yeah, so second choice, it is about religious asceticism, about afterlife, his consciousness about afterlife. And in the sestet of this poem he said that, thou screened and hid shall walk the daylight here, and dost thou prate of all that men shall do. So prate refers to speak, right? Prate means speak rapidly. You must speak for your action in doomsday, right? You will be responsible for your actions, what you have done. So just be ready, for you will be asked about your deeds, and you have to speak of your deeds as well. So a kind of progressive activist philosophy of Tennyson is also related with this, because every man should strive hard for progress in his life, advancement in science, technology, economic development, social growth. These are the vital for the improvement of human conditions. And religious and biblical sources, it provide a point of view that we can look critically at some of the more common progressive ideas of Victorian period as well. So these lines, it may state that, can't thou who had but plagues presume to be glad in his gladness that comes after thee? Will his strength slay thy worm in hell, go to cover thy countenance and watch and fear? So this illustrates the lines from Paradise Lost, Milton's Paradise Lost, right, which describes a Lazar house wherein led a number of all the diseases, right, a place for all the diseases, all maladies. And it was a dire thing, dreadful thing. Dire was the tossing deep the ground, and despair tended the sick, and over them triumphed death and his dark shock. So these lines refer to that. So here the choice second ends. So it is about self-development, and the idea is reflected in the very beginning line, and that means that states, think thou and act, tomorrow thou shalt die. So it refers to self-development. You have to think, right? Think thou and act. So whatever you do, you have to think about what? Think about your self-development, about your existence. Existentialism is also there. Existentialism, the idea of existence of individual in a society. So you have to concern about your existence, your self-development. Think about it, right? Think thou and act. Whatever you do, you just think, and tomorrow you have to die. It is a dialogue with self, rather, because it is about self-development, self-growth, self-progress. And it is a self-reflective of writer of DJ Rossetti, right? Writing of it is taken from his collection House of Life. And it is a deeper understanding of never-ending human values in the construct to fix Victorian human values. And through will and intellectualism, a man may arrive at some satisfactory answers to his problematic existence, and he cannot find the solution in what other have done or find. Rather, it's all about self development, um, about your identity, right? Self identity. And the poet cannot be restored to heaven, and he is only reconciled to himself and to ordinary world of experience. So we will see complete analysis line by line, and he states that outstretched in the sun's warmth upon the shore, thou say, man's measured path is all gone over. So he is just criticizing on humans how unaware we are of our self growth, about our identity or self development, right? And further he it's a critique, right? The theory of self development of Victorian era, which states that we have fixed and limited values, whereas this poem believes in unlimited values or morals of human identity. And further he said, uh, up all his ears steeply with strain and sigh, man clomb until he touched the truth. So for years men have struggled, right, to just reach the top of what? Top of his identity, to discover himself, to reach the truth of what? Truth of self identity. And the center of truth of your existence is self identity, right? For him the truth is self identity, and you have to reach it. And man has struggled years to reach that self identity, to reach that truth. And he said that, and I am he whom it was destined for, and I've also strived very hard to identify my true self, my self identity. So you have to recognize yourself, your worth, your identity, right? Know yourself, which is very important. And how should this be? The question is, and how should this be? How you can understand yourself or identify your self identity? Art thou then so much more than they won't show? You are much more than what you think you are, right? And that thou should reap thereby. So you have to go through this struggle, and you just do the things to discover yourself. And it is also related with the Tennyson philosophy, progressive activist philosophy. Life is name of struggle. We are always struggling, we are always in a competition, right? A struggle, a competition with ourself as well, an inner conflict, right, of self growth, self development, making ourselves better than what we are today. So it is all about progress, making self growth. And further he said, nay, no, right? Nay, come up hither, come up here, from this wave washed mount unto the furthest flood brim, look with me. Right? He said that come hither, come here, here it is the highest point, highest position, and we will look from here into self identity. And then he said that then reach on with thy thought till it be drowned. So you have to reach to this position, the position where you were able to reach your own wit, your own thought, so that you can observe yourself better, make yourself better, right? Attain that position or that status. You have to come to that position. Only then you will be able to reach the destiny of self identity. And further he said that Miles and miles distance through the last line B, and through thy soul shall leagues and leagues beyond, still leagues beyond those leagues there is more sea. So sea line, it is a metaphor for self-identity. Self-identity is like a sea line, right? As you are in the struggle of self discovering the self identity, it is like a sea line. And what about sea line, right? When you observe it from a distance, it is visible, and when you move towards it, it become distance from you, right? Moving away. Leagues and leagues beyond, still leagues beyond those leagues there is more sea. It never end. You cannot your the true identity or true self, because like a sea lion it moves beyond. The more you go towards it, the beyond it moves, right? So people self understanding is constructed in part by their perception of how others view them. A process term as looking glass self, which means that we are looking to ourselves through the glass of others, not of our own. So it is about self development, self progress, self identity, identifying your true self. So it emphasizes on this idea. So this is all about choice 3, and in the next video I will discuss the poems of Christina Rossetti, right? Thank you for watching.